very happy I got to fly, because when I came here in the morning and I saw the snow on the runway for one, and then the visibility was getting worse and worse back then. Now it's great actually again. I wasn't quite confident about going up, but happily some other guy that was around here, an instructor actually, was taking his plane out for a couple of spins just to fly it a little bit, because he hadn't flown it in 2 weeks as well, because weather has been really, really bad for the past 2 weeks. And he just kind of saw me hesitating and not taking off, and he said, "Oh no, hop on in my plane," and I hopped in his plane, and he flew me around for 10-15 minutes, and we did a couple of landings, and he let me do one of them, and he basically taught me what to pay attention to when you land and take off in snow, and that gave me the confidence I needed. And then I flew around for, I don't know, I think maybe close to 2 hours, and it was awesome. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful day today. So the fog that was building cleared up, and the sun came, and as you're flying, you're looking down on the white snow-covered fields, and the sun is reflecting off them, and the villages and the houses, and it's all very peaceful and awesome. And there was almost no wind, so it was very, very calm, very pleasant flying, and I really, really enjoyed it. And I hope today is going to be another awesome flying day. Awesome, couldn't be happier. So let me tell you about my little plane. I don't have a name for it yet. I've been thinking about calling it Foxy, or I don't know, something like that, but it doesn't seem very imaginative, because the type of the plane is called the Apollo Fox, so just calling it Foxy it's a bit predictable, but let me show it to you. So this airplane is an Apollo Fox. It's an ultralight, according to the European ultralight motorized category of planes. So it has 264 kilograms empty, this particular model, and it has a maximum takeoff limit of 450 kilograms, which includes everything: pilot, passenger, luggage, and fuel. So you're quite restricted on weight when you fly this kind of plane. It's a kind of a clone copy of a Kit Fox. I don't know exactly which Kit Fox model. It's built in Hungary. This particular one was built in 2005. I'm the fifth owner of this plane, and it's an awesome little plane. In terms of structure, it's built with aviation textile materials. So you see all this, and most of the body, it's not metal or fiber or anything like that. It's a special aviation plastified rubbery kind of textile material on top of a metal frame, which is part of what makes it so light. It's got these huge flaperons, so flaps and ailerons in one, which makes it very, very maneuverable, and you have a lot of authority when you want to turn or go up or down or whatever with it. So it's a very nimble airplane. The sort of downside of that is that being very, very light and with pretty big wings, it's you feel the wind and the turbulence quite a bit. So you feel it even more than in other planes. There are also ultralights, so more than other planes in the same category. It's powered by a 100 horsepower Rotax engine, the ever-present 912 ULS. I forget the exact model. Runs on normal gas, unleaded gas. 100 horsepower is more than enough for this plane, because this plane is particularly light, even for an ultralight. So it gives it a lot of performance. Not necessarily in terms of top speed, but that's not because of the engine, because it's not aerodynamically built for top speed. So you can cruise at about 150-160 kilometers an hour. You can push it to 170 if you really want for a while. But let's say 140-150 would be economical cruise speed. But in terms of takeoff performance and landing performance, it shoots up to the sky. So I take off in 100 meters in this thing, like literally I take off in no space, and it climbs so fast, and I land. My approach speed for landing is 90 kilometers an hour just to be safe. You can go down to 80 if you're just by yourself in the plane. The stall speed is 64 kilometers an hour, so it's really like it's really a short takeoff and landing airplane. You can land and take off from very small spaces, and you can climb really fast, so you can go over obstacles that if you have obstacles at the end of runway. And from that point of view, it's a really high performance airplane. It's not a speedy airplane, but it's high performance from these other points of view. It's a basic airplane. If we look in the inside, it's just very, very basic. So you have this very basic plexiglass windows, very little space, just for 2 people here, very little luggage space. Instruments are all very basic, just vertical speed, altimeter, speed, radio, GPS with backup altitude, engine instruments over there, and I keep my phone over here. Basic controls, basic everything. So this is like a really basic, simple, cheap entry-level airplane. There are many kind of ultralights that are much faster, much fancier, much more comfortable, much more advanced instruments in the board. But this is like a very good, very light, very cheap, very easy plane to fly, and I love it, and it's mine. And it's awesome.